But you fully expecting to have Taylor 100% ready to go on Saturday?
That's the plan right now. You know, he's practiced yesterday, practiced the whole practice, did a good job, moved around. So, you know, we're taking, you know, day to day and keep increasing, you know, the workload. Today's a big day, obviously, because it's a base install day, and you know, he'll get a lot of work today.
When you look back at the film of Cody's performance Saturday, how did he grade out, or how did you think?
He graded out well, and we didn't ask him to do much more than just manage us, and he did a nice job of doing that. He made you know, some key third down plays, obviously there in the second half to, you know, get us down in position to score. You know, overall he did exactly what we needed him to do, and that's, you know, to go in and to manage us, because it was you know, it was a hectic week last week, obviously trying to, you know, work Taylor, trying to see where Zach was at, and, you know, we had to, you know, the repetition and way we had to work, you know, for what Cody did for us. He did a really nice job.
Was it hard to explain to him why he wasn't going to play? I mean, was that a conversation you had to have?
In terms of Taylor?
Yeah.
Well, he knew too. I mean, yeah, he knew. I mean, you know, he was tried all week to give it his best to get back, and he came a long way. He really did, and you know, we were hopeful, and you know, we just made a game time decision, you know, based on, you know, really, you know, what we saw or where he was at and how he was feeling, and he was part of that. You know, he's always going to put our team first.
When do you think Zach will be able to throw the ball like he'd like to be able to?
We'll find out more and more each day. You know, I'm just, you know, really following, you know, what the doctors have said, and, you know, where Zach feels, and, you know, today we increase his workload, and, you know, we're just, every day will be a day-by-day process.
Is Zach's elbow okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's good.
How many times did you guys call the Wildcat?
You know, I'd have to really go check to look for you, but we called it quite a bit. I mean, it was, I would say, you know, 15, 18 times, which was part of the plan. You know, we had a contingency plan, which was that, you know, based on, you know, where Taylor was and his health, and, you know, because, you know, that's just a big part of our offense, to be able to run that option offense. So we had a plan going in to use it as much as we needed. So in that second quarter, excuse me, we had you know, several different times we used it in the one drive, you know, set up a field goal, and then we came back in the second half and did the same thing. We used it in our scoring drives, and it was, you know, pretty instrumental in helping us get down there.
What makes Rex so good at it?
Yeah, he's done it in high school. You know, he was, I think it was his junior year, if I'm correct, played, you know, quarterback. Excuse me, I choked there. But he played quarterback, and he ran the same offense. So it's, you know, he's really a natural at it. It's pretty easy for him to do it. You know, he knows and understands all the reads, and really kind of did exactly the same offense.
Having not used it the previous weeks, was that just because of having Taylor?
Yeah, when you have Taylor Martinez, you don't need it. You know, you don't need it. You know, you got a healthy Taylor. I mean, he's our most explosive player. You know, you'd rather have that explosiveness, you know, making those reads. So we didn't have to use it. You know, we've dabbled in, always had a little bit. You know, for situational football, probably more than, you know, our base, you know, base football. You know, like short yardage and goal line, just to create an extra hat and pull a hat out of a box. So we've had in those situations, but, you know, this week, you know, obviously this past week was a lot different.
What do you say to those people who think you should save Taylor for Texas A&M against an actual winning team?
You know, we're going to always do what's best for our team. You know, what's going to put wins on the board, and, you know, how his health is, and, you know, where he's at. You know, we're always, you know, Bo and I'll make that decision as we work through our week.
With Rex and the Wildcat, you ever think about throwing?
Yeah, we have passes in there for him because he can throw it.
Yeah, I was what kind of passes?
What kind of, he's good. You know, he's done some things for us in the past. He's been, you know, we've run like reverse passes with him and those kind of things, and yeah, he's a good passer. I mean, he's not, you know, he's not John Elway, but he's, you know, he's more than adequate at doing it. You know, so we'll do some things with him. We'll always have that as part of the plan. We had some Saturday, we just didn't choose to use them.
You know, with you guys using as much Wildcat as you did, I mean, to someone on the outside, you might say, well, that's a little bit of an indictment of your faith in Cody.
No, not really. You know, just, you know, it's putting people in position to do what they do best. And when you have the option between you know, really what is Rex and Cody in terms of their ability to run and what they bring to the read element of it, it's a no-brainer. Just putting people where they do their, you know, do what they do best.
You have to bring Rex into a quarterback meeting once a week, or how do you?
No.
Other than just running the Wildcat, you ran the zone.
Mm-hmm. Tim, we install it. You know, Tim actually installs it. You know, the reads, because the running backs are tied into the reads with the quarterbacks. When we do an installation, you know, they know exactly what the quarterback's reading. His past experience, obviously, in it, and ball handling. So we set up you know, a period to walk through where we work it, and then we have, you know, a ball handling period with him, with quarterbacks. He's just involved with it, and then we do it in the body of practice. So by the time he walks out of there, he gets quite a few reps.
Do we see more of those cards again on the sideline, or is that something just for away games?
No, it's just part of what we do. You know, it's just part of that no huddle part of our offense. I can't tell you what's on them. Can't tell you what that means.
What's your favorite image though?
Oh, I tell you what, we put actually we put Jake Wesh in charge, and you know, he knows what we're trying to do, you know, with the cards, and he always never has ceased to amaze us or surprise us. So there's no telling. They'll change week to week. Jake, we put him in charge of it because he's really creative, and you know, our players have fun with it, seeing what he'll put on there. So he puts some pretty crazy things on there. There's some that we've had to veto. No.
I could ask you if there's like some inside jokes.
There's a couple, yeah. There's a couple. Yeah, when we played Missouri, we had one with Coach Jamrog on there, which is Jake's idol. Actually, he wants to grow up to be Coach Jamrog. So yeah, there's always inside jokes on there.
Is it easier though for players to kind of visualize picture-wise?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's fast information. That's the reason why we use it. You know, everybody's, you know, better visual learners. So you know, it's fast, quick information that all has a meaning that triggered by a picture. It's easier.
Coach, will you have other no huddles this week against Kansas? Like, I noticed Iowa State, that's all they ran, and your team ran it quite a bit, not all the time, but are those offenses similar, and will we see that the rest of the year?
Yeah, you'll see us in it. You know, we've grown with it, to be honest with you. You know, we've had it in from the very beginning, and we've really tried to, you know, make it towards Taylor, you know, and also our other quarterbacks, and, you know, let them grow with it. We work on it, you know, every week continuously, and we'll continue to work on it. It's becoming, our guys really like it because of the upbeat speed that it's played at, and, you know, you can get a defense wear a defense out. So, you know, we have a couple different gears in it, you know, that we're still perfecting, and, you know, we're every week, you know, we'll have that element always.
So Shawn, did Cody run a lot of zone read on Saturday, or was mostly predetermined by you?
No, he had a few reads. You know, you got to remember now, I'm looking at one guy. So I wasn't going to be stupid either, you know, because we're down to, you know, a situation where we've got to, you know, role play the other two guys, and, you know, so I've got to be careful on how I manage and handle, you know, Cody. You know, how many runs I ask him to run and what kind of runs I ask him to run. So we did run runs with him where he had the option. You know, you guys can tell me better. I don't ever look at those stats. You know, how many carries he actually had. Somebody told me they're like 9. You know, and those were all runs. So yeah, we'll continue to run it with him, and he's a good runner. He runs some things better, or he runs some things better than others. So, you know, we'll just pick our places, and we're still going to run our offense with him now.
When Cody took that shot earlier in the game and you had to bring in Taylor for that Wildcat formation, what was your thought process if Cody wasn't able to come back?
No, we had contingency plan C, which was, you know, we were going to have to, you know, play our quarterbacks. You know, Taylor would have played. You know, how and what we had packages for that situation, and then Zach would have played, and we had packages for that situation. So, you know, it's not an ideal world, but college football isn't. You know, we're at that point in time in the season when you take a few hits, and unfortunately we've had a couple of them at quarterback, and, you know, you just got to manage your way through it now.
How much more of a planning process is it, knowing that you have the injury factors, you know,
factoring in there. How much more of a workload is it for you?
It's a lot, you know. It's the my job. You know, we sit in there and grind it out. You know, we've always, you know, got a great staff that works with me, and we're always trying to find, you know, 2 or 3 different. We know that you got to have more than 2 answers. You got to have really contingency plan A or B and C. You know, A is the easy one. So, you know, we've stretched ourselves and we stretch our players when we do that kind of stuff. You know, so, but inside of it all, the beautiful part of it is you really find something new, that it becomes something that you can hang on to and develop over time and become a part of you too. So, you know, I think we found that, you know, we kind of always knew we had that with the Wildcat stuff, but we, you know, again, like the question before, I didn't want to take Taylor off the field. He's so explosive, so I didn't feel like we really needed to use it. But it was a good thing that we've always worked on it, because we've had it in our hip pocket too. We had a plan ready in case we face a situation like we faced this past Saturday.
Shawn, Dan Hawkins was fired today by Colorado. What are the challenges inherent in trying to win at Colorado? What is difficult about that situation that maybe isn't the same here?
There's just you know, probably the culture, the environment, the support, you know, the things that, you know, I think Coach Mack did a great job there, an unbelievable job, because Mack is, as I got to know him, he has an unwilling to die spirit, and he just found his way. You've really got to fight a lot of things, and he fought them, and he found his way and had a great plan. That's why he was so successful there. And having been there for 7 years, you really figure out, you know, you really respect the job that he did. So you really got to understand the culture of the program and what you're into and how to fight the battles and, you know, how to win them, because there's a few there.
How much influence did he still have with Gary Barnett's?
A lot. You know, and when I say a lot, no, Coach Mack is not a meddler or anything like that, but Coach Mack, you know, he was really instrumental in us and as we began helping us understand the culture. I think that was why, you know, we were able to, you know, achieve some success relatively early and have this, you know, make some strides, you know, in the years 3 and 4. You know, just because, 1, Gary understood it, 2, Mac helped us as assistants understand it more, and you know, Gary was always, you know, would bring Mac in and visit, you know, talk with us, talk with our team, really helped us understand what we needed to do, what we needed to focus on to create a winning program.
Does he remain an influential figure in that, I mean, just older?
I believe so. I believe so. I think, you know, he's very well respected. You know, his word is his word. He tells you something, he does it. And I think he's admired by a lot of people because he's very honest and he does what he says he's going to do. He's a great man.
Do the fans out there not maybe care as much maybe as Nebraska fans, for lack of a better word?
You know, they have. Colorado obviously has people that love their program, you know, but there's 1.7 million people in this state that love their program, and so it's, you know, it's just a little bit different. You know, there's a real spirit of cooperation. You know, I think here, you know, university-wise, and talking about the university community, you know, so many times you've got to fight so many things there. So it's part of the battle.
Applying for that job?
No, I got to do my job here, man. I could be Kansas. That's all I care about right now.